I'm live now. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Cool. How y'all making it this morning on this Go Talk? Go on and talk morning show. We are here yet again on another Tuesday, people. Here we are. And you wouldn't believe what we're talking about. Yes, quarterbacks. Once again, goddamn quarterbacks, okay? Oh man, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time. Come on in, man. Y'all can see this over again. You know what time it is. You know how we do. We're gonna put it back out there. Y'all starting to come on into the show. But yeah, another issue of Go Talk. Go on and talk morning show. Brought to you by Black Cat Panther Podcast. Once again. We are getting ready to get started here, y'all. We're gonna bring everything up. You know what I mean? It's on and popping. Y'all come on in and sit down this morning and let's get into it. We're gonna talk a little bit about Bryce Young. I got a special guest for y'all. He's gonna come on here in a little bit when I drop that link. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link and I'm gonna wait on Mike to come on in here whenever he gets ready. I'm gonna put the link in the chat already. That way he can get on in. But today we got a good show for y'all. I ain't gonna be here too long, y'all. I got some work going on at the house, and I'm not in the truck, but I'm getting ready to go get there. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about this stuff that we got going on today, man. I like I say, and y'all know where I come from on mine. I say that I'll take CJ Stroud. I want AR because I think he's got the most and best upside in the whole class. And that has not been denied by anybody that he has that. Let me let Pop in here. But he's got the best upside of anybody in this draft class. Um, then you have CJ Stroud, talented guy, process, polished quarterback because of his years at Ohio State. I will take CJ, but I don't think CJ's got that killer in him, and that's what I think. We're going to see a little more from CJ, but not a whole lot because he's pretty much where he's at now. If he can go in and he's the kind of guy that scraps himself to the learning tree, and he's gonna go get bigger, faster, stronger, progress. But I think the progression from him is almost there. I think he's a fully finished product, and he doesn't have that plus it factor that I want to see like these other guys that's winning Super Bowls damn near back to back around here. I think Richardson does, and there's other people that think he does. I looked at a video Dan Orlovsky was saying if Indianapolis took AR that they would start him right away. You see what I'm saying? Y'all people here in Panther Nation or somewhere in this Panther community think this guy is a 7-year project. You know what I mean? Like the whole time all he's gonna do is come in and run one RPO and go out, and Andy Dalton and whoever else that we get to come along and back him up is gonna have to come in and start and take the game, and he's gonna be benched and he's gonna no. It's sets, it's different types of sets and different types of schemes that we can run all year long, and this guy be successful with this weak NFC South that we can sit there and them little seven ass raggedy games that we won this year, we win that easy with him just in an RPO system, with the weapons that we have now. No prolific weapons just like we have right now. These other guys, you got to put so much around them because they've their whole career they've had these outstanding wide receivers and outstanding linemen and just top 5 recruits, This guy has played with nothing. He's made nothing out of something, something out of nothing. Excuse me. I mean, and you can put it say nothing out of something. I mean, any way you want to put it, any way you want to spin it. That's what he has done. Um, just off of his intangibles and his athleticism. You know, that's the plus it factor, y'all. That's this thing that I'm talking about that gets you over the hump when you start playing playoff ball and you get into the red zone and the windows get tighter and people come back from injury at the end of the year and that team is right there on the bubble. You see, it's time. That's when the big boy ball happens, you know. And those other two candidates that we're looking at, like a Bryce Young, who they into think is the front runner. This guy is not the front runner, y'all. Trust and believe. This guy is not the front runner. I gave you this example of Scott Fitterer telling you at the podium that he and the other people in the notice making a decision made a decision to go to the Bears and trade a DJ Moore, potentially trade the 39th pick, potentially, but they went back and they gave him the 61st and a number one for next year, a number two for the year after that, by going to the combine and seeing what happened at the combine. Bryce Young didn't do anything at the combine. So right there tells me when the decision was made at the combine, it was not for a kid that was walking around in a book bag. There's my co-host for the day. Hold on a second. Let's get him in here. All right, Mike, let me finish up right there. But Mike is in the building, and I just gave y'all my little spiel for those few minutes. I hope y'all take those tidbits and go back with it. But go watch Marcus Spears and Dan Orlovsky, and I forget the two ladies that was on the panel telling you that this guy's pretty much ready, what kind of system to run with him. But I'm not hyping AR. I have a CJ Stroud guy here today, and this is pretty much he's running the show. Big Mike is one of our friends of the show. We're gonna let him hop on CJ Stroud today. This is Mike's segment about CJ. Mike, why are you so enchanted with CJ, engulfed in his greatness?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this type of quarterback before, but we've never been able to get him. When I look at CJ Stroud, there's certain things that just pop out. And I'm not going to talk about the Georgia games. I want to talk about his rough games. Let's talk about the Michigan game. When Michigan was running over 300 yards on him, CJ Stroud is fighting to get them back in the game as this team is punching them in the mouth. And he's looking at his coach and he's saying, no, let me stay out here. Let me do what I got to do to bring us back. And he got pulled off the field, and that man was frustrated. 8,000 yards is great. 87 touchdowns is amazing. Nearly 70% completion back-to-back years, that's lovely. But when a man is getting beat like he's never been beat before and quitting is the last thing that comes to mind. And he's telling his coach, if you leave me here, I can get us back. That's a killer instinct. When you look at your coach,
I gotta be a nigga that throw something in. Did he get him back though?
He took him out. So that's when you go back and you look at the game, because I had to look back at it. When you look at the frustration on his face, the multiple times where his coach is saying, nah, let's get back out here. When your quarterback, he sees what's going on. Bro, we can't stop the run. I don't care what you call, we're not stopping it. And every time I get us some momentum, you play it safe. Let me do what I gotta do. He got punched in the mouth in that game.
I got a question, Mike.
What's good?
I got a question for you.
What's
If
good?
if he was that guy, even though he was having a bad game, why would they pull him?
Because sometimes coaching is stupidity.
Can't hear you, Mike.
Don't get
You
me
got to
wrong.
come. You got
Ryan
Mike.
Day
You got
is
to
a
come up to
great
the phone or do what you were doing the
quarterback.
first time. You were getting good sound. Your sound is muffled right now.
All right, well, hold on 1 second. Then. I'm gonna get back. Go leave out and come right back in.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so, so the question I asked Mike, if CJ Stroud is that guy, like they say he is, even when having a bad game, why would they pull him? I go do the greats get pulled in the middle of a game when they, even when they're not having their best performance?
A lot of greats tell that coach, hell no, I ain't coming out. Y'all boys take y'all ass on back. You know what I'm saying? Look, Tom Brady, Tom Brady one time, right there to help Gronk. I think it was might have been the game after they played us and put up all them numbers when the year before last. I think they Super Bowl run. He was trying to get Gronk his incentives. And he told Leftwich, he told it might have been Bruce Arians, some somebody he told, I ain't coming out. Hell no. He told me, hey, y'all going back to the sideline, bro. I got this. You hear me? You know, and then went down there and guess what he did? Put one in the end zone, gave it and fed Gronk till Gronk got his money. Antonio Brown. If he'd have rolled with when he took his clothes off in New York and all that shit, you see what I'm saying? Tom Brady was gonna make sure he got his incentives and got his money and everything. You know, that's what the great ones do. The great ones will stick a dagger dead in your back. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That killer instinct.
Yo,
The great.
I'ma kill all that noise because I seen Patrick Mahomes get pulled and I seen him get frustrated and him and Eric Bieniemy went into it on the sideline. I don't want to hear none about that bullshit about the greats don't get pulled because the greats always been pulled and they always had an attitude and then the next time they had an opportunity, they showed they ass. For instance, Michigan, he got pulled. Georgia came up next. He showed his ass. Don't play like don't act like you've never seen a good quarterback get pulled and be wanting to go and they be frustrated with the
So,
coach. Damn near
so
having a
Mike,
fit on the sideline.
he showed his ass in a loss.
Name another quarterback to put up 40 something points against Georgia.
All I asked was, did he show his ass in a loss? I ain't here for no
Facts.
damn. We asking 50
Facts.
questions.
Facts. He did. He
I just
did.
asked a question. That's
Well,
all
He
I asked.
did
I ain't saying shit else.
because look, all right, see,
hold
there's
Mike,
a
hold Mike, hold
difference.
Mike, hold Mike. Well, we'll change that channel for a second, right? We know the losses and we know the wins. You know, the season is over. Let's.
See,
What do you think about Bryce being the front runner over your guy?
I feel like people are hypnotized by the things that he can do in college that he'll never be able to do in the NFL. Like there's a fine line between college and NFL. And when people say Bryce Young is the best quarterback in the draft, they flirting with it. And I'm gonna say it like this. I've seen games where Bryce Young will get happy feet and he'll damn near running straight into a defensive end. In college, that's okay because every team in the SEC ain't a juggernaut. So when you facing Vanderbilt, you can do some shit like that. Or these weird ass state games, colleges that Alabama always plays. You can do it against them, but you can't do that in the NFL. Not at your size, young man. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. Not even the best athletic quarterbacks make that chance. Jalen Hurts don't run towards the defensive end. He cuts out, go around, and then spins out. Lamar Jackson don't go straight to the defensive end. That man has happy feet because he knows his size. He knows his body. Now, we can say, what if he was 6'2", 20 pounds heavier, this wouldn't be a competition. And I would say, who gives a shit? That's not the case. The man is 188 pounds playing. Not 195, not 205, not 215. That man is 188 pounds playing on the field with men that are 365 ready to crush him.
Yeah.
His
And
Yeah,
then
life
he bring
expectancy won't
yeah,
make
they
it.
bring up Jalen. Jalen is 6'1", 223, y'all. 220. Not under
Fact.
200 pounds. Not under 200 pounds. Not 5'10", 5'9". Just 5'9", just squeaking 5'10". This guy is little, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. This guy is little.
good afternoon, y'all.
If and I will tell y'all this. And I'm gonna say this, and maybe people not gonna like it. People might hate me and say, "Fuck you, goat." What? What the hell ever? Okay, fine. I'll be that. If we draft Bryce Young, that will probably be the biggest mistake that we have made since Matthew Rule. And y'all know how just I'm to say that name is choking the back of my esophagus. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how bad it is. But I have to tell y'all this in all earnesty that if we do this, we will be looking for a quarterback in the next probably 5 years. And we will
Yes.
not have a team put together in 5 years that this guy, the nucleus of talent that this guy needs to help him. You see what I'm saying? This quarterback needs these other players. Y'all see Alabama? When have you seen the Alabama team lose 2 games, much less drop one? You understand what I'm saying? It's like Mike said, the conference that they play in, this and that too, is hyped up. SEC is a good conference, but they have some scape games too. But he needs that talent around him to be him. You see what I'm saying? To compensate for this smallness.
I got a question
So
for Mike.
go
Hey,
ahead,
What
Pop.
up?
good afternoon to the panel. I hope y'all having a great afternoon so far. It's beautiful in the North Carolinas. It's amazing, beautiful day. Uh, Mike, my question is about C.J. Stroud. They always talk about his weapons, and I try not to even bring that up. I think I have never used that as an excuse of why he's good. I'm wondering, does he have to prove? Because any quarterback that comes out in the first round or highly drafted, they usually go to a team that doesn't have much. He's going to have to prove that he can do it with mediocre talent. Do you think he can do that in his first year to show why he should be the number one overall pick?
Okay, that's solid. Solid question. And the reason why I'm gonna say yes is because the year before, yeah, he had three number one receivers. Last year he had one. People bring up that Jackson and Nickba was on Ohio State roster, but he didn't play any games. He only had Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes, that's a monster at receiver, but he
What you
had
say?
one number
What
one
this year? You
receiver.
saying last? You saying last year, right?
Yeah, this
They
past year
say
he only had
only.
one number one receiver. So it's
Oh
not
my.
like he went from three number ones to one number one, and the stats didn't change. They didn't change. It was still 40 some touchdowns. It was still damn near 4,000 yards. It was still almost 70% completion percentage. So in my
Mike,
eyes, he
as it
needs a
should
dog
be.
facts. But I'm saying because the argument has always been like, bro, he had Jetson and Enigma, he had Chris Olave, he had Garrett Wilson in the same year. Well, when those
Yeah,
three guys left, he only had one receiver.
yeah, but one superhuman receiver. I mean, you goddamn. You talk about a motherfucker that got that equals two other receivers on another team. Come on, bro.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
The
because
only
because
reason,
because
the only reason why you feel like that is
Mike.
because he was with him.
But Jackson Enigma got hurt this year, correct?
Jackson never played one game and got
Well,
hurt in that first game.
exactly. He got hurt this year. That's what I'm saying. He got hurt this year.
Yeah,
Why? Excuse me. So the underclassman Marvin Harrison Jr. stepped up, right? Which that's
yeah,
what he's supposed to do. Okay.
yeah.
So he would have had both of those guys this year. Okay, Chris Olave lead superstar. Um, damn, why can I never remember the guy who was there before?
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson was the superstar. He receiver after receiver after receiver after next man up, boom, 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 and they just keep putting in work. Hell, the year before that, come on, Jackson Enigma had about what 1,400 yards. Come on, Mike. No,
Facts.
come on,
No, no,
bro.
no, 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 no. You just helped my argument. You didn't deflate it. You helped it. You just said that he had 3 receivers, all of them he clipped over 1,000 yards. Then he has this year, he has one receiver has 1,300 yards. Marvin Harrison. Where them other
Mhm.
2,700 yards come from? He wasn't
Shit,
throwing
I
to
told
himself.
you, he throwing to the next nigga who gonna be the next motherfucker to come in because they've had a tree that
I don't
just
think Mike
spans through.
understand it, Go. I don't think he
So
understands this dude
that's
got
what I'm trying to
superhuman and all these
receiver,
superhuman weapons
receiver,
around him.
yeah, receiver,
Okay.
free.
I'm
Then
gonna
he got
say
running
this.
back. Then he got tight end. Goddamn.
His
Shit,
number
man.
one his number one running back was hurt for 6 games. He didn't have a number one running back. Matter
Well,
of
you
fact,
just
they
say
went
where did the
down.
rest of the
They
yards
part
come from, Mike?
part,
So where they come
and I'm
from?
telling you, they came from B plus receivers like we
Oh my
have in
God.
Carolina.
Okay,
That's
okay,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay.
Okay, besides Marvin Harrison Jr., name another receiver he threw to this year.
Because that was his
Mike,
next
I
man
don't
up.
watch
I
Ohio
mean,
State.
the plan would have been Jackson Enigma and Marvin Harrison doing work like Williams and Olave would have done. You know what I'm saying? The other
While
guys
we
in
talk
there.
about a
Now,
plan, let's talk about what happened. We don't talk about plans on this show. We talk
that's the
about what it
plan though.
is.
But what I'm
What it
saying, that's the
is he
plan.
had over 4,000 yards, but he had one number one receiver. Where the other
Mike,
damn near 3,000 yards come from?
if I'm going into the season
Well,
with
hurry
my
the fuck
top
up and
two
tell us,
dogs.
Mike. Shit, it don't take this
You
long.
understand
You
what I'm
don't know,
saying? If
damn
I'm
it.
going into the season with my top two dogs, do I say, okay, Jackson Enigma gonna get hurt? I don't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the next man up mentality, and they took it because they obviously got star after star after star over there. They recruiting big time receivers over there. We see that. They've done it for the last 3 years. Is
The
all I'm saying.
bottom
And
line is,
that's not taking a damn thing away from CJ. Don't get me don't you know what I'm saying? Don't get me misconstrued. That's not taking nothing away from CJ. The numbers are the numbers where they at. We're just saying, okay, let's just say he was in Carolina last year with the rest of them bum ass quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying? And all he had was DJ Moore. DJ Moore gets hurt. That's what you're saying right here. If somebody get hurt, DJ Moore gets hurt. So what you was gonna say? Terrence Marshall would have put up 13? We haven't seen it yet. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're saying.
y'all saying a lot of possibilities, is what I'm saying.
Damn, nigga, that's what you
Because
just told me. That's why I go. You
because
know what I'm saying?
my exact words was, I saw the man do it with just one number one receiver, and he made other receivers that we don't even know their names show their ass.
So what it is, Mike, since you know so damn much, please tell us.
Ohio State has an offensive coordinator professional running their fucking team. He knows
I
how to get these guys open. The
Who the
only
fuck
thing
asked you that?
CJ said,
I said name the receivers you steady talking about.
oh, okay, we can do that now. Ibuka, do you know him?
No, next nigga.
Yeah, and Mika, Ibuka, nobody knew
Next
him.
nigga.
Oh, okay
Next.
then.
What the fuck you laughing about? Next. Who else?
It doesn't matter who else. You don't know the
You
third
just
string,
said
and neither do I.
you said 20 something, 25, 2,400 yards. I know damn well Ibuka don't have 20 something hundred yards. So please tell me, list the shit out for me so I could not be ignorant to it. Since you and
All right,
Omar know so damn much. Come on, please tell me.
all right. Ibuka had 1,100 yards, and nobody knew who the fuck he was. Let's see.
Okay.
I'll go down
Next
some more.
nigga. You done call his name 3 times. Next nigga.
All right, Fleming. Fleming was a nobody. He only had like 600.
That ain't
Yeah,
2,400 yards though.
his tight end
Yeah.
had about 500. I can't think of his name. I think it starts with a T, like Trovel or some shit like that. What I'm
But
saying
my
is,
math ain't the best though. That still ain't 2,400 yards.
Yeah, but he did throw the ball. Q in his defense, he did throw the ball. Omar, I got you just a second. He did throw the ball around the yard. You know what I mean? And that's what you're supposed to do when you lose your number one threat, your go-to man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we know he's a processor. We know he can do things like that in the scheme in the system. That he just don't target one guy because he goes through his progression and he processes. I mean, that's the big reason why he's up there where he's at.
So,
You know what I'm
so
saying?
what's his weakness? Like, I understand Team AR-15 and shit, but like I always say when I come up here, sometimes it seems like people overcomplicate things. Consistency, check. Whether he's got three number ones or one number one and a couple number twos or whatever the fuck he has, the same yard numbers are still going to hit. He's still going to have 4,000. He's still going to have over 40 touchdowns. He's still going to have almost a 70% completion rateage. What's the weakness? Somebody
I,
tell me his
But
weakness.
I got a
what I'm
question,
saying,
Mike.
that's good. Okay,
He
go ahead,
should
go ahead, Pop.
have that. He should have that when he got just a league on. Goddamn.
You breaking up,
And,
Q?
and yeah, go ahead, Pop.
Mike, I got a question. Out
What
of
up?
out of everybody that was in his division, Ohio State, why did it take them the longest, or why did it take C.J. Stroud the longest to hike the ball? If they had 30 seconds with the ball, they waited to the last 2 seconds to hike the ball. I'm questioning, does he have trouble processing the field, seeing the
That
defense?
Ryan Day always do that. If you went back to when Justin Fields was on the field, it happened. It did it when Urban Meyer was there. When it was Dwayne Haskins, that's just the way they play ball. I
Funny
never
So they,
as shit,
understood it
Mike.
either.
so they always took a long
That's true.
time to hike the ball.
They always did that.
Is
Yes.
that
They and as they did that every play with Dwayne Haskins.
so? With that being said, would that hurt him in the NFL? Because sometimes you won't have that long to wait 30 seconds to hike the ball. Depending on if you're trying to hurry up and get up the field, if you need to uh, get outside to the sidelines because hey, you're trying to get your kicker in place. Maybe you don't have any timeouts, things of
Hmm.
that nature. I'm just wondering, will that hinder him because he's so used to holding on to the ball so long to try to survey the field before he hikes the ball? Do you think that is something that you can question?
I think that is one of the biggest weaknesses for all Ohio State quarterbacks. I think they've all had that issue when they came in the league, so that's very much possible.
Not to
Like
cut y'all
that
off,
is
the Carolina press conference is live. So those who are here with us, we appreciate y'all coming in to listen to this Go Talk. That just shows how dedicated y'all are to this channel. And hit that like button and subscribe.
facts.
Yeah, they got that presser. I will be watching that presser later on, but I know we have some people that go out and watch that presser and come back. So thanks for rocking with me, Omar. What's going on today, Omar? Let me ask
Hey, what's
Omar.
good?
What team you with? You team Bryce, CJ, AR? Where you going at?
I'm Team CJ just because, like I said, I
CJ.
think
Okay.
it's the safe pick, and I understand why you guys don't want safe at number one. You want to go up to number one, and you want to swing for the home run. You want to swing. I understand that, but I'm thinking as an investment, long term wise, who may be the safest investment to help us win a Super Bowl, which is what we want. And I think that guy is CJ Stroud. And like you said, Pop asked a great question. Mike was making up some good points as well. Everybody says CJ had weapons this year. Jackson Smith and Jigba played 3 games and only had 43 receiving yards. That man was throwing
Yeah,
to
he
Julian
got hurt.
Fleming. He was throwing to Cade Stover. He was throwing to guys like that, guys that unless you watch Ohio State, you don't know who they are. So CJ can make things work with that with lesser talent. I do think him reading the field may be a little bit of a challenge at first because Ryan Day is kind of a cookie cutter offense, and I personally think Ryan Day holds his quarterbacks back. Everybody thought
Hmm.
Justin Fields was couldn't move like the way he does. He gets to the NFL, and that boy taking off 5 times a game. So I do think Ohio State held CJ back some. One of my biggest concerns with CJ would be throwing on the run. He even showed you that at his pro day. That throwing on the run to his left can be a problem because he doesn't get his shoulder squared up. I think that and maybe processing the field are his only two knocks. But to say that he can't work with less weapons, I think that's an insult to him.
Because I mean that's why you get a ball placement specialist is what they call it, right? They say the boy placed the ball where it got to be at. The ball goes exactly and hits the numbers. He hits the motherfuckers in a stride, and that's why you go get a Adam Thielen. That's why you get a Miles Sanders. That's why you get a Hayden Hurst because you give him security blankets that he always can fall back on. He's got those three. So maybe you don't have your number one receiver in the first year. I'm not looking for CJ Stroud the first year to come out here and throw for 4,000 something yards and 30 something touchdowns and four interceptions and take us to the promised land. I'm looking for him to get his mouth punched in for the first year, get back the fuck up, and the next year show the fuck out
So what?
because he's gonna have a number one receiver. 'Cause
If we're catering this team to a CJ Stroud, where does all this Bryce Young talk come from then? Where's all this talk coming from?
they want that Houston pick.
Like, think about it. The Bryce Young talk didn't start until after Houston said they might not take a quarterback at two. It was that same exact week. That's when the Bryce Young to Carolina stuff started. It could be a coincidence. It could be a smokescreen. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I just find it quite interesting that that's when, oh, out of nowhere, everybody loves Bryce. Because that was even a week or two after his pro day. So it's not even like his pro day was the one thing that just flipped everybody's mind and okay, they going towards Bryce. It was still even like a week after his pro day when it came out that he may be the number one pick. So
So,
it's
so
interesting.
with you CJ guys, do y'all think okay? Is it an insult to y'all having this smaller quarterback, and y'all say he's supposed to be this inferior talent to your guy CJ, even in the talks, even in the running with him?
I wouldn't say
I'm
it's
gonna
an
be
insult.
very. It's not an insult because the man had great college accolades. You know what I mean? When you did as much as he did, not this year, but the past year, when he had the Heisman and he showed out like he did, you gotta understand anybody with a Heisman trophy is gonna be in the conversation for the number one pick. I'm
Mhm.
just smart enough to look past that shit because I've seen too many quarterbacks his size and smaller go through hell when they finally get to the NFL. People throw up shit like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had a lot more weight on him. Or they talk about Drew Brees. Well, Drew Brees had inches and weight on him.
Inches and yeah,
We're
this guy
talking
will be
about.
the throw that in for you, Mike. He will be the smallest ever. So there's nobody to compare him to. He will be the smallest ever.
And the Bryce fans
That
don't want to hear that. They don't like to hear that. Like, yo, this is the smallest dude ever to get drafted.
he's smaller than Johnny Manziel. Think about it.
And I'll be watching Bryce tape, and like I said, Bryce, hey, arguably it was the best quarterback over these past 2 years. I'm not taking that away from him. He may be a better quarterback than Bryce, but it's just at number one, I'm not taking that size, man. I just can't do it. I can't see him. All his highlights that people love showing me that LSU highlight where he make two or three
Yeah.
dudes miss, then run out the pocket and throw a pass to a wide open dude. If Calais Campbell and Vita Vea get their hands on Bryce, it's over.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's over. And
that's what I say.
I don't think
So
nothing can be done about that.
yeah, because see, I like that old Marcy. You made a point. Y'all keep saying, okay, you don't move up to one to get a project, what you consider Anthony Richardson is a project, which a lot of people, myself, say he is not that far. He could be a day one or week six starter. Okay, so we said that. We've heard that all across the board. We don't move up to go get him. And now you just said you don't move up the board to take this the smallest quarterback in NFL history, right?
Facts, yeah.
So okay, so what that and then you call CJ the safe pick, right? You called him the safe pick when you
Yeah,
came
I
on
consider him
earlier.
safe. He's your safe quarterback. He has his flaws, but I think he's just the safer out of the three options because I don't count Will Levis. Just out of those three options, CJ's the safest in my opinion.
I don't like that word safe. I'm gonna say logical. He's
Yeah,
the most
logical. Okay.
logical answer for quarterback at the number one pick in this draft. And anybody that thinks differently don't watch enough fucking football.
And I say safe because I think CJ has the less concerns. You don't have to worry about his size, and I don't think you have to worry about him sitting possibly a year, like the people say the project Anthony Richardson is.
Nah,
That's
it's not
another
going.
reason.
Nah, it's not going to be a year. It won't be a year.
Man,
It won't be a
that
year.
foot he got
Nowhere
that
near.
footwork, man.
Nowhere
He
near.
got to get his feet
Nah,
together for me.
nah.
Anthony Richardson footwork was horrible, man.
Mm, it- you
And
gotta, you gotta, you gotta go back and look, Omar. You gotta go back and look. It's not the guy's footwork. He plants that back foot all the time. I mean, and he's been throwing on the run, off scripted throws. I mean, he's got all that, man. So
I got,
it's not gonna be it's not he's not as far away. I mean, you don't have people say it because see the people once again. Now, if David Newton was to come out, I see you back there, Wiley. I'm gonna hit you. I got you as soon as I make this. If David Newton was to make that statement, I'm dead in on it. Like, oh shit, David Newton said it. You know what I mean? I'm hey, I got to see it. But when Marcus Spears and a Dan Orlowski and these other guys who don't even follow us, who get uh some talking points 2 minutes before they go on air about us, they don't watch. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these teams and a lot of those guys have not even watched Florida football this year. They've watched no more film on him than I have. And I've watched games. You know what I'm saying? They don't have time to sit there and watch games on him. So they like I told y'all, we're gonna bust the narrative on all this stuff when we move to one. I told y'all that when I first started coming on the air. So just to
Oh,
bust up the narrative, I just want to talk about those guys. Don't read a lot of that narrative into, oh, his footwork is terrible. No, it's not.
go. I
That's
wanna
what
I
the
wanna
other guy.
say I fucks with what you just said because I remember, as we both know, we traded up right after CJ and AR had their day. After they pro day. I mean not they pro day, but when they had their day and
combine.
Bryce Young said I'm not going and shit. And that right there makes me think about, is that why we talking so much about Bryce Young? Did we almost show our hand when we traded up at that moment? So now everybody knows we're not going after Bryce Young.
I got a question for you, Mike.
What up?
Because I know Big Mike on the Black Cat podcast. I guest, I host, a friend. Uh, so I'm coming with you. Coming with you with these questions because I know you evaluated CJ very, very,
Oh, he's on it.
very,
Yeah,
very
he's on it.
deeply. Um, I wanted to, in case anybody doesn't have a reference to why CJ should be our guy, what game does he remind you of the quote? Sometimes I need a quarterback to play superhero like our coach Frank Wright said. Which game would you tell people to go back and watch where he put the team on his shoulder?
It was a game he lost. It was him versus Georgia. And the reason why it's that game, because you take away the win and loss in the column, and you watch that game, and you see this man. You see Georgia throw everything they had in him for his defenses. I mean, the multiple sets, the moves, the extra packages to try to confuse him. Everything they do to stop a young quarterback and to get him confused and to get to him. The number one pick that was supposed to be before he got in legal trouble couldn't touch him. He tried to sack him all game, couldn't even touch him. Every move they made with their defensive line, they couldn't even sack him. And then when his number one receiver went down, and then his star running back didn't start, then his second receiver went down. He had a rough second half of the fourth quarter, and still he took a tight end that nobody knows, a third string receiver, and marched down the field with 45 seconds left to get his boys in field goal range. And the field goal missed. This narrative would have been so different if the field goal would have just hit. It wouldn't be no talk about he lost that game. No, CJ didn't lose shit. Ryan Day and that horrible ass defense gave the game back to Georgia because he had a flawless one.
And then they
Boy,
just said, the offensive coordinator, he wrecked the ATV driving while he was drunk. So you think he was calling plays drunk?
hey,
Look, he was doing
wow.
something out there. He was doing something out there because
Yeah,
the game, it was not supposed to
We
be
went.
that close. Y'all
yeah.
heard Vegas. Vegas had Ohio State getting their ass handed to them by damn near 20. This was not even supposed to be competition. They had no, it was 15 and a half points favorite Georgia. They thought Ohio State was going to lay down and just die. And CJ Stroud said, "Everybody good up. I'll show you how to do this."
But Mike,
Okay,
this is Mike. But
wow.
this is my question though. This reminds me of the Super Bowl that the Panthers went to. We went all the way down there with the Patriots, and we
You
missed
mean
the
when
field
John
goal.
Casey did
Right,
that kick?
Yeah,
it
when
missed
you
the
left
field goal.
you left points on the
Nah, come
board.
on now.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
getting
Go
blasphemous.
ahead, Wiley. How you doing
Yeah,
today, buddy?
ain't nothing to it, man. This don't look like that 2003 Super Bowl. Come on now.
No, I said reminds me. I said
Oh,
because
okay,
I mean
remind you.
because of the situation. You know, he wasn't able to get a touchdown, so they had to go for the field goal, and then you put it
Had
in
to
the
go for the
kicker's
field
hand.
goal. Yeah.
The kicker missed. Same thing with him. That's my reference to the two.
Okay, all right. That's a decent reference. I ain't gonna go after that. Hey man,
So
what's
so
up?
so Wiley, where you at with the three?
Hey,
Who's your favorite as of now?
I will take Bryce, man. I watched a lot of CJ stuff. The guy scares me. Guy scares me.
Talk to me.
He
What
had,
he
he had,
scared? What
he,
scares you?
okay, he had one good game against Georgia. That's great. But look at him
Pause.
playing. Look at him playing in his own division. He looked at against teams that were low ranked inside of their own division. He looked like he looked like Sam Donald.
Ooh.
What game are we talking about?
Who was that? I think it was Iowa. I think it was Iowa. He played against Iowa, and I thought so. Indiana. I think it was. He didn't look that great against either one of those teams. And my thing about it is, and I put it into the Discord. If everybody watched those, I put in there of him not being able to account for people whenever you blitz them from the right. And I mean, guys were open. They were open across the middle. They were open going to the sideline, but they blitzed him to the right. They were forcing him to run to his left, and he could not pick up the receiver. The tight end, the receiver, the running back, they were all crossing his face, and he was like he wouldn't even attempting to pass it to him.
So Wiley, hold on, I'm gonna stop you for 1 second. Okay, so you said when he's rolling out to the left or to the right? Which is because I
To
didn't see it.
they
To the
forced him
left.
to the left, blitz him
When
from
they
the right.
force him to the left.
Okay, so when he's rolling out to the left, you're saying he's having a harder. I guess it's not feeling as natural to him to
It,
throw
It's
to
not.
throw that ball back. Okay,
it,
because somebody had said that at his pro day. You remember they said that at his pro day.
yeah, it showed it in that. If you go to Discord, you see the ones I dropped in there. You'll see. You look at the videos. You'll see it's over and over and over again. My thing about it is, if they doing that in college, you know what they're gonna do in the NFL? They're gonna
Ooh,
blitz him
Lord.
from the right, and they're gonna blitz him up the middle. And what he gonna do?
Okay. Well, let me tell you what he did to the guys that you spoke on. Let's talk about what he did to them first. He threw 4 touchdowns and 300 yards on Iowa, even though that they found that weakness. And you said Indiana. Let's go
Mhm.
see what he did to them. He threw 300 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And is Indiana or Iowa considered a powerhouse?
Not at all.
These are
That's
the
what
teams
I'm
you
saying.
brought up, my friend.
What I'm trying to say is, they look like he didn't look great. Look at the videos. Y'all can argue. The film
I
don't
feel what
lie.
you're saying
The film
because
don't
this is what
lie.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this, and I think people need to stop fucking playing. No quarterback has perfect games, my guy. Let's act like that we don't see the same thing with every quarterback prospect to come out.
Okay,
You don't get on my damn nerves. Let me get on my shit real quick.
you're right. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Go ahead, Mike.
Let,
Go ahead,
you're right.
Mike.
You're right, Mike. Hold on a second, Mike. Let me hit back at you now. So, if you think about the game he played against Georgia, that game he
Yeah,
played against Georgia wasn't even better than Bryce Young's best game against Georgia. So, what, he looked
that's,
like Bryce? What, he trying to measure up to Bryce?
maybe he was trying to say, I'm here now.
Oh, come on.
Maybe
Oh,
he's saying
go
I'm
ahead.
here because let's be real. Like as my man said earlier, Ryan Day has a hard time holding quarterbacks back. But let me tell you, because I'm an Ohio State fan, let me tell you what Ryan Day said before this game. He said, when you go out there today, I want you to do you and play like you it's your last opportunity. Don't leave
Mm,
nothing else out there.
Mhm.
CJ went out there and played like it was his last fucking game, and he didn't leave nothing out there. So part of me say again when I was talking earlier, I love Ryan Day for his coaching schemes and how he orchestrates the offense to make sure motherfuckers get open. He is a fucking genius for that. He's always been. That's the reason why Urban Meyer got his last national championship, no matter what anybody says. But the man, when it comes to game management, is not that guy. He will have a weakness and he will not correct it and he will let someone beat him through that weakness. That was the first game he says, I don't have a defense. CJ, I need you to do this. And he tried to let the man do it. Every other
okay.
game you talk about, I remember being in as watching those games and I'm frustrated as shit. I'm like, Ryan, why are you pulling them out? Ryan, why are you letting them do this? Ryan, how come you ain't changed the formation up? Ryan, what the fuck are you doing? As an Ohio State fan, I'm cussing him out. Like, cause I'm
Mm,
seeing it like, Ryan, you letting this nigga out coach you. Where's
mm-hmm.
Auburn Meyer when you need him?
Okay. Okay, I heard all that. Do CJ call any plays at the line of scrimmage?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. So, you're going to get a guy that haven't called a play in college, to come to the NFL where you have to he's got to change up protections. Now Bryce did all this stuff. He's got to read defense. He's
Mhm.
gonna he have to avoid sacks. Everything
Yes.
that you're gonna ask CJ to develop, Bryce already has. I don't
Okay,
understand
who
this
was the
argument.
last quarterback that won a Super Bowl that called plays in college?
The last quarterback that called plays,
That called plays in college and won a Super Bowl.
uh, it had to be what's his name, the guy from Baltimore, Flacco.
Oh, that long ago?
Well,
So why is this a subject?
what I'm saying is this, and this is the key. This is the key right here. Uh, Calling plays though, and you look at all these guys that come in the NFL. Well, I would say three quarterbacks in the last 7 years actually
Mhm.
has broke that thing. No, which call plays?
Who?
Burrow called plays at LSU.
In college?
Yeah, Burrow called plays.
No, Joe Brady called plays in college. He
No, he
just
was a
Joe,
echoed them.
coordinator.
Joe Brady
He was
was
a
on the
coordinator. I'm
passing
talking about
coordinator.
in
He
the
was on the
pot.
passing
I'm talking about
coordinator.
getting
Oh,
under
in the
center.
pocket? I'll give you
Yeah,
Joe
getting
Burrow.
under.
Yeah, he was on the
I'll give
Yeah,
you
passing
Joe
Joe
coordinator.
Burrow
Burrow.
did.
I
Yeah, Joe
think
Burrow
Joe
did.
Burrow, and I'm gonna try to help you out. I think there's one
Oh,
more you
oh, what's his
forgot.
name did too? What's his name? The guy at Jacksonville that played at Clemson.
Trevor Lawrence.
There you
Trevor
go.
Lawrence.
That's the one I was thinking about. Now
He
let's
called
go back
plays
to this.
too.
We're
He
talking
called plays
about
too.
two quarterbacks in the last 10 fucking years, dog. Patrick Mahomes ain't calling no fucking plays. Matthew Stafford ain't calling no fucking plays.
He called
Every
plays
Super
at
Bowl
Georgia.
winner, every
Stafford
Super
called
Bowl
plays at
winner
Georgia.
in the
But
last 10
see,
years ain't called
that's
one
where
play
that's where it
in
goes.
college.
Everybody keep uh hyping up or comparing everybody to a Patrick Mahomes, this and that. That's I told y'all last week.
Patrick's
Patrick
anomaly.
Mahomes, yeah, Patrick's an anomaly, and Andy drafted Patrick on pure potential. When he
Okay,
Yeah.
said,
Jalen Hurts
so when
ain't called
y'all
no
come with that
plays.
bull, when y'all come with that bull about you don't go and get this person
J-
at this order, that order, what order do you where's the book at that says
That's
this person is here and here and here? You know what I'm saying? you can only take him here, 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 here in the draft. Come on, man.
That's
Y'all got
not
to
what I'm
stop that
saying.
narrative, that
Jalen
bull.
Hurts did call
I
plays.
wasn't even close to that narrative.
Now
My
you're right.
narrative was
I appreciate that, Mike. Jalen Hurts did call plays at Alabama
I got,
he
because
I
they were
didn't
got,
that
talking about
he
his
did
father as a coach.
he didn't that okay though.
I,
He didn't when he was a Sooner. So that's what my
But
reference was. Because when
but he already knew
he
how
got
to.
drafted at a Sooner. They didn't let him call it at a Sooner. So you're right. He might have at Alabama, but I
He
know he
did at
didn't when he was
Alabama.
in a Sooner uniform.
I, I,
But
I, I have
But
a.
you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. The thing is we can name 10 that don't, and we can name 10 that do. That's not a factor. That's something you teach a quarterback how to do. Every quarterback get drafted don't call plays in college. It's like you're reaching for shit to
I'm
find
not
with this
reaching for
young
nothing.
man.
I'm saying is the guy don't process fast. That's the truth.
He's not
You saying
he's
CJ
not an
Riley?
elite
Yeah,
processor. No.
CJ don't process fast. No.
So I got a question,
Go ahead.
Mike. Since we've moved up to number one in the draft. We've been, we all have been keeping a close eye to whichever quarterbacks we like, whether we like them, whether we don't. I mean, at one point, Levis was supposed to be that guy, but now you see he's fell out of that race. We seen a video put up today on NFL Network talking about AR that you could start him this year. Maybe not in the first game, but somewhere around like 6 or 5, he can come in and do his thing. Why do you think that these analysts that their job is to sit here and break down these QBs and other position players that CJ is now seem to fall out of that number one prospect?
It happens every year, dog. I really can't call it. It happens every year. Every year there's a quarterback that's talked upon that ends up falling down. This year it's CJ. It was Justin Fields. One past the time it was Lamar Jackson. Hell, it was even Josh Allen. Because, every year there's one quarterback that they be like, yo, stay away from this one. Ironically, that's normally the one that balls out.
Yeah. Well, see
No,
that,
but
and,
that's
and
what
you
I'm
know what,
asking. Like,
Mike?
what do you see that they're trying to say that reason why he's falling?
CJ's biggest weakness was already brought up when he goes left and he tries to throw in the move. He's at that. And two, Ohio State has had a lingering amount of great performing quarterbacks in college that go to the NFL and don't do shit. Because if you look at the college accolades of quarterbacks like Dwayne Haskins, the man threw for 5,000 fucking yards, threw for 50 touchdowns. He was the reason why Joe Burrow had to go to LSU. It wasn't Justin Fields, it was Dwayne Haskins. And what do you know? He gets to the NFL and does absolutely shit. And when it comes to anybody, and some of it's just media, like when you have a story, you have something that pops up all the time, you go with that. Ohio State's quarterbacks are not successful. So they repeat that because honestly, it's been true.
They fall into that rut. They fall into it. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe it is a stigma. Maybe it is this guy. This guy can't
Yeah,
process.
because
This guy can't do this,
we
or this
didn't
guy
even
can't
draft
do that.
Justin Fields.
Boom.
And I thought we were supposed to grab Justin Fields and not Jace Horn. When
And
he got
so,
past us, I was shocked. I was like, we didn't get him?
but hold up, Mike. See, some people say all Justin Fields did with Chicago this year is run and do this and do that. Okay, if anybody looked at Chicago games or look at his numbers, you'll see. Okay, at the first beginning, when a lot of his offensive lineman was hurt, things like that, the play broke up. He had to run. But so when the weapons started getting toward the end of the year, people started getting back healthy. You see the numbers started going back up, and then now he's talked about as okay, just get him some help, this and that. You see what I'm saying? That's what I keep telling y'all about the narrative of these commentators that don't even look at some of these games. Because these guys got
Facts.
skin in the game as well. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So with Justin Fields, and then even people was talking about Chicago was gonna trade Justin Fields. Are you crazy? They're gonna build around this dude. You see what I'm saying? So
Facts.
let's don't
There
get
was
into
no
this hype
offensive
train.
line. His running backs was always hurt. He
Yeah,
had no number one receiver, and the best receiver he had was hurt. He had nothing. Like the definition of a quarterback not having anything but trying to make some out of
he
nothing
was not
was the
talented at
definition of
all.
Justin Fields.
Exactly. So, and then they say, "Oh, Justin can't process. Justin can't do this." It looks like that when you don't break down the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? When you just looking at the middle of the picture and you're not looking at the edges and everything else that come into it to bring the colors in and all that, it looks like that. You know what I'm saying? But when you start
It's
looking at the whole picture and putting it all together, then you say, "Oh, I see why he broke that off for a run. Or I see why he did." You see?
and you know what? I'm gonna go back to what you said too, because you draft off of potential. Like AR-15, the boy has the most potential in the whole draft. I
Yep.
will say that firsthand. AR-15 could be the monster of all quarterbacks if he got his mechanics right.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Breaking news.
1000%.
Uh,
I will never deny that. When I
Scott Fitterer said that he has not asked Frank Wright who he wants to be his guy right now. He said he will ask him later, closer to the day of the draft. The other breaking news, all y'all Matt Corral fans, he has gained 15 pounds. 15 pounds. And the other breaking news is that Scott Fitterer said that he does not see himself or themselves trading out that number one overall pick.
There you go, baby.
What y'all got to
Yeah.
say about that?
See, right now
I
they just
think
they gonna give you random talk right now up until they're not gonna give you anything. They could do a podium talk every day. You know what I'm saying? They're
It
not
won't
gonna give
matter.
you. Yeah, it won't matter. The only thing that we do know, okay, it may or may not be solely on Frank Reich. You know what I'm saying? Right now they're saying it is, but I don't think he's still gonna have to confer to somebody to say this is who I want. What do y'all think? You know what I mean? So it's still gonna be kind of sort of by a committee, but
Yeah, this is a big deal because if he's saying whether I know they playing the cards close to their chest, and if he's saying that he has not asked Frank Wright who he feel like is his guy, who he wants to pick, it lets you know that this is the first time that Scott Fitterer is going to have to hold his hands to the fire. Because if things don't work, this is the first time
Oh,
Scott Fitterer has actually been able to play or be
GM.
GM.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
anything that happens, and like the
It's his
GOAT
damn
said,
fault.
right, like GOAT said a while ago, everything that reset button starts in September.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened in the past is gonna be in the past. We can
gonna be
only
in the past.
judge them. We can
Yeah,
only judge them from what happens in September, then on.
yeah.
So
This is
and,
their
whoever,
baby now. This is their
and
baby
let's
now.
add to that.
This is their
yeah,
Let's
baby
baby
add
to
to
now.
that.
raise now. Yeah.
When you go car shopping, do you want the dealership to know what car that you really want to buy this motherfucker? When you go
What?
look at a house and you trying to buy a house, do you let the real estate agent like know that you really like this house, or do you be like
Right,
act like you on the fucking fence? Same
right.
thing with this number one pick. You don't want motherfuckers know that you thinking about trading this motherfucker. You want to be like, nah, I don't. Hell no, I'm not getting rid of it.
And I
If
and I,
you selling your car, you want them to think, yo, that's my baby. I can't sell that. Man, you got to give me something you got to give me your offer. I can't refuse to let that go. Same
well,
thing with this first round pick. You
it's
got
so
to
funny
give me
that you
some
said
shit
that,
I
Mike.
can't refuse.
But it's so funny that you said that, right, Mike, because Twitter is going crazy because everybody's in speculating that Bryce is that guy, and you were just sitting here relating or using the car dealership as an example of saying, hey, I want to get something that nobody has or nobody's going to be able to get. And if you get a Bryce Young, that's something that nobody has ever had. I don't know if it's a Ferrari, but it might be a Miata. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So is
Yeah.
this really what Panther Nation really wants? Is my question, because it's really gonna be foreign to me. And to put it in that perspective, it's really gonna
Yep.
be foreign to me to have that guy, that Mazda, that CX-9, instead of that Ferrari or that or a jet. You know what I'm saying? It's just really foreign to me. I mean, what y'all think?
Yeah.
Yeah, dang.
If he breaks it down into a car, you know what I'm saying? You got the base model, which is the same thing as that upper model, you know what I'm saying? Loaded. But now if you take that base model and you try to put leather seats in it, you know what I'm saying? You go to the guy to do upholstery, you go to the guy to do this, and you put a better radio in, and do you end up spending more money and time and trying to
Yep.
do that when you got that loaded joint,
Already
but
ready for
maybe
you.
already ready, but you might say it's going to cost me an extra couple dollars a month that I don't want to pay for,
Let
or
it let it go. Let it go.
I mean, what do? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And see, that's where we at. That's where we at right now. Who's the loaded joint? You see what I'm saying? And that extra payment is maybe that wait time that we got to wait on Richardson.
Yeah.
I don't know. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at it like because this is gonna be an expensive uh uh
Oh yeah.
an expensive car. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna call him a Mazda. I'm gonna call him an Aston Martin.
We kind of
Okay,
already paid for it though, Pop. We kind
we,
of already paid for it.
we
You know
did.
what I'm saying?
The
Yeah.
problem
Come
the
on,
pro
Pop.
the problem is that when you get this
Aston.
This Aston Martin, once it break, it's hard to find pieces because there
Oh,
ain't that many pieces around to find it. But if you go get uh uh any other American made car that's a Corvette, let's say, you can find parts to replace and put around it to help it work. But once you get that Aston Martin, you can't take it to your regular dealership. You can't take it to Ford. You got to take it to Aston Martin.
you're right.
And
But
how long it
Hey,
gonna take
Pop.
you to fix? I don't know.
yeah, you're
Well,
right.
Pop,
But
that's why you don't drive that Aston Martin every day. That's why you take it easy with the Aston Martin.
Well, see
You don't with it every day.
That Aston Martin is Bryce Young. Bryce Young, my boy.
no, but
Yeah.
No,
I say right.
let me tell you what's wrong with that Aston Martin though. You gotta drive that bitch
Here
to
we go.
a fucking derby. You gotta drive that bitch in a derby, nigga. No matter what, it's getting hit, bro.
Nah,
And
you,
that's the
Nah,
it's
thing.
going to get hit.
If
nah.
it with Panther Nation, it don't matter who we
okay.
get. They want to go with whoever and throw him out there in front of the wolves immediately. So now
That's
you
true.
already taking that Aston Martin and put him on a crash course dummy race and trying to see if he gonna make it out.
Yeah, because you picked the wrong car. I think you the car what I'm driving. It's that 550 twin turbo,
Hmm.
750 horsepower.
Oh,
That's what it
shoot.
is.
Matter of fact,
You
I don't want
hey
to call it
you
an
could
Aston Martin. I want to call him a Tesla,
hey
the
nah nah
base
nah
model.
I'm talking about
Hey, hey, Pop.
you that 550,
Hey,
huh?
Pop.
Yes, sir.
So did you pay attention to what they said in that video? They said for a young rookie to come in, they want them to be able to use their athleticism in their first year because the learning curve is so big for all the rookies. At least in the first year when they go to start.
Q, you breaking up. You breaking up. I get it. I get it. What a lot of the guys were saying, I think, and this was Marcus Spears said that. So I put some of the, I put a lot of levity into what he said because he did play the game. So what he was saying was a quarterback with all the athleticism and intangibles, and maybe he has a weakness here or there. You see what I'm saying? You can put him in. You can start him because all of the rookies rely on their athleticism and intangibles when they first come into the league because they don't know. Just like Wiley was saying earlier, or if CJ's weakness is rolling out to the left or to the right or whatever, or not some guy not being able to see the middle of the field because of the height and this and that, those OCs, or I mean, DCs, defensive coordinators, will eat you alive because it
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna take them but a game or two to see this. They know this already. But they watch your college tape over and over and over again. That's what they do. That's all. Eat, sleep, breathe offense, breaking down offense, people's tendencies and stuff like that. So once they got a key on you, You see what I'm saying? You better hope that your offensive coordinator or your coaching staff of offense, that's the first thing they learn to break you out of, or help you with that weakness, you know what I'm saying, to make it a strength for you. But all these guys, their first year, rely on their athleticism. I
Right.
like Justin Fields. That's why he ran like hell. You know what I'm saying? The first game to everybody got well. I mean, so you
And
think
that's why
he's
they say you could
going
start
here?
Anderson. That's why they say you could
Yeah,
start Anderson now. I mean, Anthony Richardson now, because he's gonna make it hard for defenses. You know, now
yeah,
you got to run single high safety, and while he takes time, it gives him time to grow, but it also gives him time to stay on the field because he's so athletic. Running an RPO system like they did with uh uh what's his name for Philly, it gave them time to let him grow as a quarterback, because
yeah.
now you got to look at him as a weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Facts.
then y'all talking about a polished Bryce and all this and that. That don't mean shit. Bryce ain't did nothing in the NFL. Even though Alabama's system is more catered to an NFL type scheme, you got to look at a Mac Jones. You see what I'm saying? Did the same
They ain't the
shit.
same thing.
You
They
know,
ain't the same guy. They didn't look.
I,
They
I,
didn't
they,
look nowhere the same, man. And
I
you know,
can't say that why they ran the same system.
but
He
they
won
didn't look the
national
same.
championship, had all the accolades as well, you know.
No,
And then once you get him in here, and then they say he processes so good, he was this super processor. Now when he went through the same process, he was supposed to be this super processor.
but hold on now. Did Matt Jones make the Pro Bowl his first year?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
because they spent
No, no.
almost
He went to the. He, hold
$200 million
on.
in free agency.
He went to the Pro
Just
Bowl, but
barely
check it
though.
out. Yeah, but he went there. But watch this. His second year, they didn't even have an offensive coordinator on staff.
That's Bill Belichick's ego right there.
I was just saying. So you can't really,
That's coach.
that's
That's
kind of
coach.
like, come on, man. We got to make this kind of, this that's a little,
This
that
guy's
was
so
crazy
cocky,
what
his
they did.
owner had to make him hire a coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So I blame that on coaching
So
right there.
let's get back on the CJ. So if we know that you're gonna have to use a lot of your athleticism in your first year, because no matter how smart you are, how big your arm is, you just haven't been accustomed to the defenses that you've seen from college to the NFL. How athletic can CJ be, Mike?
Oh,
That's a good
well, let's he's not a Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson. He's more of a
Go ahead, say it.
Joe Burrow, Justin
No,
Herbert,
no.
Kirk
Deshaun
Cousins.
Watson.
More, more like the guy that plays in, what is it, with Chicago, not Chicago, Detroit.
Oh,
No.
Jared Goff. Jared Goff.
Yes,
That's
Jared Goff.
exactly who he put me in the mind of.
Oh, really?
yes.
Yeah.
You fucking wrong. Let me kill y'all ass real quick.
So
Hey,
hold
you
on,
know
hold on.
Mike
So
think he
All
walk
right.
on
All
water.
right.
So here we
I
go.
said, look, I
Mike.
said
So
Joe Burrow, Justin
DK,
Herbert. No, I
this
Here we
is
mean,
go.
like,
Mike's hour. This is Mike's hour
let me kill that. Like, we
get him
saw,
on the map.
all right,
Go ahead.
how many yards did CJ
Here we
Stroud run
go.
in the Georgia
Here
game?
come the pop quiz.
Oh,
How many?
he probably broke
Guess.
100.
Oh, so you think that Jared Goff is going to run like that?
Yeah, when
No.
nobody's expecting you to
Dumbass.
run.
Y'all doing too much. Y'all pulling shit. Jared Goff ain't never did that his whole fucking career. How the fuck you gonna just assume that he can do that shit?
He
Y'all
look
just
Hey,
pull
like
hey,
shit out y'all
hey,
ass.
he
hey,
look
hey,
like
Mike, Mike,
Oh, CJ Golf.
CJ Golf.
MDJ put do you know what time CJ ran in the 40 at the combine?
Nope, cause he didn't run.
Yeah, we know
That's
0.00.
he didn't run, so he
Okay,
didn't
all
You
right.
know,
show
you know,
So,
you know what's so crazy
he
about
got
that,
that.
pause.
So
I'm ready to
what
kill
he
this
said,
now.
Mike?
he didn't
Pause.
show anybody
Pause.
if he had that
When the
athleticism by the ass. So you know what I'm
That's
fuck?
saying?
enough. That's one thing I do have to question, because we talked about how Bryce didn't throw, and then they questioned CJ about his athleticism. They both did not show up in the places that they were supposed to.
Facts. But there's a
That's so
difference.
wild to me.
There was a difference in the scenario. CJ
Mike,
showed you he
well,
can fuck a run when the game is on the line.
hold a second, Mike. You're
Here
asking
we
me.
go.
This
Walking
is
on
this is
water
my whole
time.
thing about this is my whole thing about both of them guys. You're asking me to go out there and number one and get the leader of my team,
Yeah,
who both of those guys did not compete in one of the biggest moments in this NFL run. What they're gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Which is the combine. You know what I'm saying? This NFL gauntlet that they had to go through to get from college to there. They didn't compete, or they only competed in certain things. That's what you asked me to go out here and do.
facts. You know why? Did Joe Burrow run? Did you see Joe Burrow run? He didn't run. Know why?
But they
You don't
never
have to
questioned his
run as a fucking
athleticism.
quarterback. You got to throw.
They didn't question his athleticism, Mike. That's
I
the thing.
mean, he won a national championship. He didn't have to run shit.
And he was running in. He wasn't running this one game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
Say
weren't
What
what?
you
questioning his
mean?
athleticism.
That boy CJ Golf ain't win shit. What the fuck wrong with you?
Yeah.
Be like,
I ain't acting like that boy walking on. I didn't tell you to stop putting that boy on the pedestal.
I'm not
I don't know
putting
what the
him on
fuck
the
wrong with you,
pedestal.
Mike. Now,
Listen, pay
goddamn it, you
attention.
gonna take his
Pay
nuts out your
attention.
motherfucking mouth? Is what you gonna
No,
do?
no, 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 no.
I'm
It's
sick
not
of this
what I'm
shit.
doing. I'm telling you, a man that could throw for
Every
500
time,
yards
look,
in a
you
game.
gobbling nuts. Goddamn it, I'm sick of this shit, man.
Ooh.
Same it does when you start talking about AR-15. I just want to point that out, my guy.
Oh,
Now
fuck
let's
you.
get that. Now let's get this going. Because we saw a man throw for 450 something yards and damn near run for 100 yards. What are you questioning in the first fucking place? Sit the
Here we
fuck
go.
down. He
Here we
already
go.
right.
showed you
Walk
what he
on
can
water
do.
time. Here we
He
go. He
already
don't do
showed
no
you what he can
wrong.
do.
He
Mike,
don't do no wrong.
Mike.
No, no,
So
I ain't saying he doesn't do it wrong because I've already listed the shit he does wrong. I'm saying
And
when
you
it comes to
glanced
the
over
three
that shit.
quarterbacks, the least of the workout project, the
Yeah.
fucking makeover
Yeah.
project, the least amount of work I gotta put into is CJ Stroud, motherfucker.
No,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
watched this.
I'm saying
So
I already seen the consistency. I haven't seen
uh,
consistency from AR-15. I've seen 5 or 6 games he played good. That's it.
And you ain't
got
trying to
That's
see nothing
all.
from that nigga because your
No,
face
I
in
have.
CJ
Dog,
ass.
first of all, first
Take
of
your
all,
face on
I was
CJ ass. You
pause.
might see something.
First of all, first
You
of all,
crazy motherfucker.
I was looking at AR-15 in February, dog. I was not. This is not something I just came to conclusion to. I was looking at him in February, dog. In February, well, I didn't
And
even
when?
think we had a
And what
chance to get
month?
the first round pick.
all right.
So
Hey, check this out. So John Beck, which is the quarterback guru for both CJ and Bryce, the guy that coached both of them since they were like 14 years old. He said Bryce processes better than most first year quarterbacks. He won't have an issue. Then they asked him a question about CJ, saying, well, CJ's going to need some more time, but I think he can be okay. That's the guy that taught both of them since they were 14. So I'm trying to, this the quarterback guy, their own coach.
Mm.
I'm just
first of
That's
saying.
all, I just want to
quarterback.
Walk
point
on
this
water
out.
time. Here we
I'm just
go.
saying.
No, ain't no walk on water time. I want to say this very clearly. I said this many a times. I said the X factor Bryce Young has is phenomenal. I'm worried about his size. I said AR-15 has the highest fucking ceiling for his
As we all know.
potential, but we don't know if he's gonna fucking reach it. I said the most logical pick is the one that's shown us the most consistency both fucking years, and it's not as small as that little nigga. That's not walk on the water. That's common fucking
Well,
sense.
well,
You're
Bryce
right.
Young show us the most
hold
out of the
on.
last
I
couple of
got.
years.
Hold on.
What the hell
I
you
got it
talking
right.
about?
But I got.
Mike,
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got it
What
right here. I got
if
it
we
right
Go
talk
here.
ahead.
about
Go ahead.
AR-15? He's only had 6 good
Mike,
games.
Mike,
He's
let
only
somebody
played
else
one
talk, man.
year.
God damn.
All right,
Walk
cool.
on
Go ahead,
water.
go. Go ahead,
I'm
go.
gonna have to. I
Shit.
got it right here. Okay. We'll say Bryce Young. His biggest attribute is his processing. We know he's small, height and weight, and he doesn't have the best arm of the three. Let's stop that. He doesn't.
No.
Okay. CJ, y'all just said that, okay, some people put out there and say, oh, he processes, he throws people open, this and that. You know what I'm saying? So he has a better arm than Bryce. He's bigger than Bryce. And his processing and a couple his mechanical things like, the rolling out of the pocket, which I told y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times he had times in those games, especially in that Michigan game, where he could have ran the ball and advanced it and moved the chains. He didn't. He sat back and he looked. I don't know if he was processing some more or trying to wait on the open guy or was just scared to run or what that was. But that's a flaw. That's a big flaw in his game because, see, in the NFL game, you got to move those chains like that by any means necessary because you don't have that many shots at it. When you got to go down, you got to take chunks down the field. You got to move it running. You just got to be that it factor. Okay, with Richardson, y'all know he's got this, he's got this, he's got this. He's got the height, he's got the size. He's fast as hell, and he's been moving the ball off script. All he's got to do is somebody's got to polish that shit all up. We're not winning anything this year. Maybe the NFC South, maybe with whatever quarterback we get or ever how they do. This is the year to start putting the foundation down in the blueprint. We are rebuilding, y'all. So this patience thing, what we don't have, or some of us think we don't have the time, I'm trying to figure out, or the question I ask you guys is this. Why don't we have the time when we're rebuilding? What do we have in our cupboard right now that's got y'all so damn antsy that y'all figure out that we don't have the time to wait on a quarterback when we telling you that any three of these motherfuckers that we get got some problems in their game, and we're gonna have to wait on some shit for to develop. Because if we get Bryce, we're gonna have to wait on his supporting cast. If we get CJ, we just told you this first year might be a Justin Fields year. AR, his first year, he might have to sit just a little bit. So any of these top three guys, we're going to wait on. That's my little spiel on it. What y'all think?
I agree. I think everybody putting their feelings into it, and what they're doing is they ignoring the clear signs in front of them. And like I said, I hate to say it again, it's walk on water time. They figure if they get this guy in here or whoever they want, whatever pick they want to go and compete right now. But clearly, that's not the case, and everybody can see these holes as glaring as day, but they want to ignore them. So it is what it is. They go out
I
there
got
and
a
get the team beat. You'll see. You got to show these people sugar ain't sweet to them.
Yeah.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Mike. If we go get your guy C.J. Stroud, do you think that he will bring back some of the fans that we lost since we haven't had a superstar quarterback in the building in a while?
Yeah.
Do you feel like he
Winning
brings that
kills
type
all
of
that.
vibe?
Absolutely, because winning kills all that. Winning
Walk on
kills
water
everything.
time. Here we
No,
go.
it's not walk on.
So
Okay, here we
what I
go.
just said,
I'm
what I
gonna
just
put it
said,
like this. I'm
we
gonna put
gonna
it like this,
you
man.
expect him to
Hey,
win like that the first year. That's what
no,
you're saying. He's gonna win like that first.
no, I'm
Because
not.
keep
That's
in
not
mind
what I
again,
ever said. I've
again,
never said that.
it is a business. Overall, it is a business, and you
CJ don't
damn well
lose.
better believe that when they come in this evaluation, they evaluating who is gonna sell them damn jerseys just as well as getting them wins on that field.
Mm-hmm.
You right, and that's sad. Know why? Because I think the only thing you should focus on right fucking now is who's going to be the long term answer to win in the long term. Because this year is going to be a struggle year because it's the first year, first quarterback, first time we got the coaching staff, first new regime for the defense, first everything. Who's going to be the dog that's going to be able to have, like, after a year, you can be like, yo, I know he got it. Did we saw enough from him this past year while he was struggling? So that second year, watch this nigga click. It's about to go for him. And if I had to put a betting man on which quarterback I feel safest after a year, it's gonna be ready. That's why I say CJ. I don't think any one of these three quarterbacks is winning shit this year. I don't give a fuck
Oh, I
what
understand. Yeah,
happens.
Walk on water time. Here we
I
go.
got I got two
you're
questions for you,
exactly right
Mike.
about that.
What
I
up?
got I got two questions for you. The first question is, do you have a nickname ready for your number one overall franchise quarterback? And my second question, do you think, even though he fixed the prototypical type of a quarterback, what they say, they should look like, do you think his second year he'll bulk up, maybe to get to like 220, get a little more size on him? I mean, he's not very big as far as like
put on some muscle.
But yeah, you think he's gonna put on some mass, some muscles to be able to take on the longevity of being a quarterback?
I mean, if he add 10 pounds, I think he cool. So yeah, but for
I
us,
mean, he
and,
played at 218. He's already at 214. So if he get up to
yeah,
225,
225, and he be smooth.
I think he'd be smooth. Do you have a nickname that when you get to tell everybody I told you so? Do you have a nickname for him?
CJ, oh
Gone.
CJ,
Gone.
that nigga's busted nuts to CJ over here, man. This shit
Y'all
is
doing way
hilarious,
too
man.
motherfucking much. Cause
You
look
out
here,
there
man.
jacking off to the
Like,
CJ
like,
nigga, man, with your picture in
like,
your hand, man. You a crazy motherfucker, man. Bust that fucking nut to
Get him,
CJ.
Mike.
CJ,
Go ahead and get it, Mike. Go ahead and get it.
CJ, I love you.
I'm gonna let all that shit just slide and let
Mike,
you have your fun, dog.
do you have a
Anyway,
nickname?
there's no nicknames because it's none of that shit. You know what? To me, all I do is make logical thought process of what the fuck I look at on the field. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna tell you the smallest fucking thing you could look at. Each one of these three players played Georgia. Who the fuck played them the best? Since everybody says that's the
Bryce.
bar of the closest
Bryce
NFL
did.
team,
Bryce did.
which one did? And,
Look at the numbers,
and
baby.
when
Look
you
at
look
the
at the
numbers.
film, when
Okay,
you look at the
okay.
film,
That's
it was
between you and
Bryce
Wiley right there.
and
Let's go.
CJ
Let's
that
finish.
was neck and neck when it comes to stats or how played the best team that was on the field these past 2 years. And I said
So in the
potential
chat, who do
AR.
y'all think? Bryce or Mike? I mean Bryce or CJ? Who played Georgia
I
the
said
best? CJ. In the
potential
chat.
AR. S factor Bryce Young, but the most logical pick was CJ because he has what Bryce some of what Bryce has and some of what AR has. Just like Joe Burrow says, he's not the best at any one thing. He's just really good at everything. And that's what kind of quarterback I would go for.
Mike, what do
Oh
you
my
think?
God.
Mike, what do
Man,
you
come
think?
on,
Mike,
bro.
Just get it, Mike.
That shit got deep.
CJ.
People on Mike's side. They on Mike's side.
You crazy little fucker, you.
what happened to
God,
Mike?
I don't know what happened to him.
He dropped. He'll be back right. Hey,
He had to
Mike
rub one
dropped.
out.
Yeah, he dropped
God,
that lock.
come on now. Give him a little break. Give him a little break.
Hey, Wally, he had to rub one up.
Golly. Come on, man. Give him a break.
Yeah.
That boy got a photo and lotion just sitting there looking at us. CJ, I love you. Please.
Yeah, CJ ain't no doggone Burrow. Burrow's a
Hey,
beast.
but Wiley, I mean Wiley, I mean, like I say, you open my eyes to Drew Sanders out here, and a couple that I really respect your insight on things. I mean, but you just keep bringing Bryce to me, just his process and his process and his process.
Yeah, but it's more than process.
I don't think they're processing alone there, brother.
Yeah, but here's the deal. So, like I said, when I look, so listen to John. It was John Beck or
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's
John
John
Beck.
Beck.
It's
Yeah, when
John
I
Beck.
listen to his interview, right? And the guy, he's the guy that coached the guys. So think about it like this: if he's the guy that coached the guys from 14 through to even when they were in college and came back to him, he was still coaching them. Then the guy that was coaching them 7-on-7 also chose Bryce over CJ. And then CJ went to college, and CJ did not learn to read defenses, call calls. All he was doing was basically throwing the ball. Look to the sideline. Okay, I'm throwing it to X. Okay, throw it to X. Oh, I'm throwing it to Z. Throw it to Z. Man, come on now. You really want to trust that? With the guy they say, don't think he know it all.
Now see when that came out, that right there kind of made me say, damn, This
But see,
hard head motherfucker. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I'm
Basically.
not gonna knock him for that though. I'm not gonna knock him for that because that is one of his weakness, and because he wasn't as prepared, that's okay. That means that he can come to an organization and that he
It's
can
kind of
learn
hard.
that he can learn that. Just like when I say about Anthony Richardson, he can learn how to be more accurate. They could put plays in for him to help his accuracy be better. Those are things that when you bring into an organization, and when you bring that quarterback into your organization, you know what their weaknesses are. And you have the right out, like the blueprint of how to help him get better.
Mhm.
Bryce definitely is ahead of the game.
And do y'all think? Let me. I'm gonna throw this out here to everybody. Okay, you got the reports about CJ. What Wiley just said. Think you know everything, hard head or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay, now with Bryce having all those accolades and CJ having all those accolades, do you think their attitude is like that? We've got reports on Richardson that says, "Hey, Richardson is willing to learn. He's the guy that comes in early, stays late. He's gonna listen to the coach. Hey, every day he's working on his game. So you got these two might be on this end of the spectrum because they already think they superstars, and this guy right here is on this end of the spectrum. And you ask the question: is he that guy that's gonna sit there and take these objective criticisms and what he's gonna do it? And they say yes, that he's ready to do that. That he's gonna be able to do that. That's how he's done his whole career. So what do y'all think about that?
I mean, I think you spot on. I mean, there's no any kind of bad anything that would have been able to be reached would have been leaked already by any of these quarterbacks. It just so
Mm,
happened that it was CJ who had the information come
Mm-hmm.
out on him about him being maybe hard headed or stubborn or
mm,
maybe uh, not believing in what you're talking about. Like he's already been there. Walk on water.
multiple people said it.
Multiple
Multiple.
people. And then when you have two other guys who are humble, one is a baby. They call him Brain. That's what they call him. That's what Bryce Young nickname is, Brain, because he's that fucking smart. Who has it all between the ears, but maybe lacks on abilities that these other two do have. I mean, it's a hard choice to make.
Mhm,
Um, it really is. I mean, even with AR, I mean, at least he came out and said, "Hey, I'm willing to sit behind a backup." That's a blessing to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So it's a hard thing for these guys to choose. But the last thing you want to hear is that you have a quarterback of his stature that doesn't want to listen. That's a big knock
Mm-hmm.
because that can mess up your locker room, especially he's supposed to be a leader. That can tear your locker room up. That can get your coach fired.
Say that again.
Better preach, boy. Look at here. Once they stop all that walking on water, you notice something about CJ people? Everybody that's in love with CJ head as hard as his motherfucking ass. His, he got a hard ass head, and everybody that loves him got a hard ass fucking head. Stubborn
Oh
motherfuckers. They act just like his little dumb ass.
I mean, I hate to
man,
say it, but I really think the race is over. I think it's not over, but I think it's down to two guys. I really do. I think it's Bryce and it's AR. I mean, it's
Yep.
it.
I
I
think
think
that's
they.
what I think the way it's been a two-man race the whole time, and not the two men that the national narrative. You know what I'm saying? And I keep telling y'all that. So
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, if you
That's
listen
true.
to both of these guys' interview, and I do know that Bryce, like, I mean, CJ loves football. You could tell, but if you listen to how Bryce and how AR talk, it's more believable. You know what I mean? You feel like you can walk with them. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you can trust in what they're saying, even though Baby Young is smaller. You still believe in him to lead your team. You just don't know how long he can do it
True.
physically. You know what I'm saying?
But
So,
that's why you got to back up.
well, hey, I mean, I hope we don't get to see our backup.
Me,
That's
me,
that.
me too. Me too. But you got to have a good backup with him.
So breaking news: Mike Garfalo.
Mm-hmm.
He says Panthers GM Scott Fitterer says the team has gotten clarity through the scouting process since the combine, but hasn't made the decision on the number one pick yet. Board will be finalized in coming days. Now they went from 1,300 people on their board to now to 170. That's how many people they've already written reports up about. 1,300 people. 1,300. They're now down to 170.
That's some work there.
Out of that 170, if you look at it, they got to pick 6 people.
Wait a
That's a
minute.
lot to go through, guys.
Hold on for a minute, Pop. Hold on for a minute. Carolina Love, you said take a chance at number one. You talking about AR? You the same motherfucker that wanted Matt Corral. So I mean, come on, bro. I know you can't be serious. You wanted Matt Corral, and you didn't even want to take a look at a quarterback in this draft. Should I take any value in what you think about this? Oh, okay.
I mean, the good thing is that if Bryce Young comes here, at least Matt Corral can teach him how to put on weight.
Matt, come
Yeah.
on, Pop.
Matt
Matt
Corral,
These
Corral,
fans will be greeting at Walmart is what they'll be
Matt
doing.
Corral,
Matt
Matt Corral can put
Corral
on
is gonna
15
be
pounds. Matt Corral can put on 15 pounds.
Matt Corral will be out the door. This
Yeah.
coaching
No, he's not.
staff. One
Nah.
thing I know about that, well, this coaching staff don't want no parts of Matt Corral, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Exactly.
but
That
they
Exactly.
need a cheap. They need a cheap backup. What I'm trying to say is this:
uh,
if Matt Corral can back him up for the next 3 years, they got a good deal. So that's why I
Matt,
understand y'all keep trying to push him out the door. It's like if he can learn from Andy Dalton, just like Bryce, and be a good backup, that's a win. Or you take a draft pick that you used already and you throw it in the trash. What would you rather do?
Wiley, if that was the case, if they wanted any of these leftovers, like you eat leftovers at a damn cookout or something like that, family reunion or after Christmas, if they wanted any of these leftovers, they'd have kept Sam. And they shipped his ass the first chance they get. Not because what is he making? What is Sam making over there in where did he go? San Francisco. What is he making
Man,
over there in San Francisco? What's
about the
that
same as
contract? How much?
about the same as Andy Dalton. About the same.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
the problem is this, and the people keep they don't want to say it. If they keep wanting CJ, we should have kept Sam. They got the same problem processing.
I don't think his is bad as Sam though. Sam's is terrible. Sam's is terrible, and don't look like over 6 to 7 years. It's not going to be able to be fixed. It's not going to be able to be
Okay.
fixed. You talking about fixing? Sam Donald is through, y'all. I don't know why
If
anybody
you
would want
why
Sam Donald. No,
you didn't have why since CJ hasn't had to process. He's had 5 number one receivers. That what they known for? Breaking making a space between them and the defensive back.
mhm.
So he had 2 or 3 of them at a time. Come on,
he
man.
has he has he has amazing wide receivers that can get separation now.
So
That's
what I'm trying to say is
the part about
he
that.
didn't he had to process. All he had to say was, "Oh damn, he's open. Oh damn, he's open. Get the ball to him. Come on,
Mhm.
man." Now when he has to sit down there and read the defense, get under center every now and then people start blitzing him from that right again, then blitzing him in the middle sometime or blitzing to the left. He ain't gonna know what he gonna be lost and he gonna be looking like Sam. And people gonna say, Sam Donald look really good, don't he?
Wally might have a point there.
Wally have a hell of a point here. That's why I let him finish. You know what, Wally? When I said that earlier, I said he had these superhuman wide receivers. Mike ain't had no answer for that. Oh, he still was throwing no-name receivers wide open. Oh, okay. Every time you look, this cat got a new receiver going in the first round. I mean,
Yeah.
goddamn, I ain't the smartest person, but if I got 5 first-round receivers, I don't have to work as hard as the other guy who don't got that. Come on, they're getting open. They're doing their job. Cut
And
shit out, man.
watch this. And 3 of your
That
5
that's
offensive linemen
a
are
great
gonna be
point.
first round draft picks. 3 of your
Three,
5 of your offensive linemen
both
first
of your
round draft picks.
tackle and an
Come on,
interior line. Good
come
God
on, man.
Almighty.
Come on, man. These are
Whew. I've been made that point, Wiley, but nobody seems to want to hear me. You know what I'm saying? I have been made that point. So I mean, these are the things y'all gotta look at, fellas. And these are the things that I hear a lot of people in the chat talking about this and talk about that, but you never talk about. I don't see y'all talking about those things. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
And other than
it's
the
a new
intangible
car.
or the athletic ability of these quarterbacks, y'all got to talk about. This is the ultimate team sport.
Yep,
That's what makes a quarterback the team. He can't play by himself. He
that's
doesn't play
true.
by himself. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's true.
You
And it's
you
hard.
you. When we pin the thing on a great defense, that means the defense keeps going 3 and out with opposing offense and keep giving that quarterback shots at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
It might have took him. You don't get what maybe in an NFL game. I hadn't broken down in a college game, but you might get 3 shots a quarter. Might get 3 shots a quarter to hold the ball.
3
You
shots.
see what I'm saying?
And
So
sometimes
that
in the NFL,
defense,
you may get
yeah,
5 possessions.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
So
talking about the whole
it,
game.
the whole game. Yeah, but 9 times out of 10 they may get 3 shots a quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's a good damn defensive game. What you talking about, Wiley? You know what I'm saying? Where you don't get the 3. So
Think about it like
if
this:
that defense can give you an extra lick at it, you know what I'm saying?
how many times Patrick Mahomes had when they won Super Bowl? He scored every time they had the ball, right?
Exactly. And
So
it
how
took
much?
one fuck up.
What was the score though? Like 30 what? 30 what was it? 30.
Oh,
Can't remember the
yeah,
score.
yeah, it was high scoring game because both of them scored. You score, I score. You score, I score. Then it came down to one more fuck up on the other side than the other one did. You know what I'm saying? It was damn near perfect games played on both sides of the ball. You know what
He
I mean?
only had 5. He only had 5 possessions,
Yeah. So
maybe
you see
6.
what I'm saying?
you
Point,
you
That's
don't have
point,
that
point
many
that's
being made.
big.
possessions, man.
Points made, y'all. Points
That
made.
that's checkmate right there.
Yeah.
That's big. That's a hell of a way of looking at it because you need somebody who's gonna take advantage of. If you're not gonna sit there and hold the ball for a long time and make it a slow grind, like maybe you running the ball a lot, you making sure that defense don't get the ball. It's either that or you scoring high. It's one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. You got to
It's
make a
one or the other.
decision.
You're gonna lack somewhere. Unfortunately, both of the teams in the Super Bowl were good on both ends, pretty much.
On both sides of the
Yeah,
ball, yeah,
Yeah,
complete. And
yeah.
I really thought it was Eagles' year because they were more complete team on both sides of the ball. But you know, like I said, one mistake and they're not the champ.
that's true. One mistake. Ain't that something?
One one mistake. But like I said, man, I wasn't gonna be long today. I think we covered a lot, y'all. This was a real good show, if I do say so myself. And I thank everybody for coming on today. Mike, I don't know where you went at, brother. I was waiting on you to come back, but look like CJ has left the building, people. Uh, y'all go like and subscribe. Black Cat Panther Podcast, man. Run us up, man. We're trying to get somewhere before the draft. Go to that Mud Ink Outlaw TV, man. I'm gonna give it to y'all before the draft. We got a new video that's gonna drop this weekend on the big site. Then we got some more surprises. I'm gonna give y'all a new video right there before the draft to tell y'all everything that's going on that you can expect to see on the channel. Mud Ink Outlaw TV. Go like and subscribe. Black Cat Panther Podcast. Y'all go ahead and run us up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Pop, you got anything last you want to say last before we get up
Nah,
out?
I think this was a great show. Thank you for having me on, and appreciate everybody who stopped by. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that Mud Ink Outlaw TV, and man, it's been a great show.
Wiley, talk to me, brother, from Germany.
Hey man, nice jumping on here. I'm still saying that. Hey CJ, excuse me, Bryce is what I'm driving. That 550 with about 700 horsepower, twin turbo.
Okay,
He can get at
okay,
it, baby. He
okay.
can get at it now. I'm cruising at 165.
What?
With
Hold
them
on.
small, with them small tires, with them small tires.
Little ass tires, them
Yep.
go
You
kart
ain't got big
tires.
boy.
No, they don't go.
Them
No,
small little itty bitty tires.
no. I said 550. I'm talking about BMW 550. twin
Yeah,
turbo
no, no,
all-wheel drive.
I don't know. Yeah, I must have found some little rims and little tires some damn well
You
for his
riding no
little ass.
tens.
You understand what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm cruising about 165. So that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get Bryce. We'll be cruising about 165. They got to
We're
get
gonna
at
get
us.
us. We're gonna get us an electric Tesla base model,
Go
2-door
ahead now.
seater.
All right, Q, you got anything to go on out with you?
Oh, you know it, man. Shout out to Mr. Walk on Water himself, brother CJ Jr. Look at here, brother. I enjoyed myself today. Every time I see you, I'm gonna remind you of what you do best. Oh, CJ. CJ, I love you. Oh man, shout out to Mike, man.
Yeah. Mike ain't coming back. That's messed
That
Mike,
boy
up.
Mike,
love that boy love
hey,
CJ,
Mike,
boy.
you know we love you, boy. We know you love you, boy.
Yeah,
Like
shout
I
out Big
said,
Mike.
I told him, yeah, I told him, hey, he get to talk about nothing but CJ all day. As soon as he got in here,
Hey.
uninterrupted CJ Stroud.
Next show we're gonna do the wedding vows for them, boy. Okay?
Wow.
That boy
Wow.
love CJ, boy.
So,
Go. You gonna be the pastor?
oh man,
Hey, it's legal now. It's legal now.
Lord have mercy.
Mm.
man. So, well, we'll be coming back to you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And with that, I am out of here.
Okay,
Later,
baby.
y'all.
Peace.